Welcome to Wavos on Wire. Today we're talking about Dominic Lau's analysis of the Seremban parliamentary seat. Right, let's get into it. We're looking at Datuk Dominic Lau, the national chairman of Perikatan. He's basically laid out this, well, huge strategic vision for the next general election, the 16th GE. And the core of it was pretty explosive, really. He thinks the whole political map, especially in Nigeri Sembilan, could just flip.
Flipped entirely. Based on
the Malaysian-Chinese Association, MCA, potentially joining up with Perikatan Nasional. He's framing it as a real challenge to the current government.
Okay, so this isn't just political talk then. Lau's actually grounding this in numbers, specifically the 2022 election results.
Exactly.
So for you listening, what we need to figure out is whether this political math, this calculation, actually adds up. And what does it signal about Perikatan Nasional's, strategy for winning over Chinese voters?
Let's start with Seremban. That's the headline grabber, this Seremban upset formula he talks about. He's saying that seat is vulnerable, that Perikatan Nasional can actually win it. Why Seremban?
Well, he's looking directly at the 2022 results. Remember, the winner there was Lok Siu Fook, who's now the Secretary General of the Democratic Action Party.
Right, a major figure.
A major figure. He won, got about 51% of the vote, which, is a win, but it also means nearly half the votes went elsewhere.
Okay, 51%. So the other 49% split between who? That's the key, isn't it?
Precisely. It was split. And Lau's hypothesis, his formula, is quite simple on the surface.
Just add them up.
Essentially, yes. You take the votes that the Malaysian-Chinese Association candidate got, add them to the votes the Islamic Party candidate secured. Remember, PAS ran under the Perikatan Nasional banner, and mathematically, that combined total would have been enough.
Enough to beat the Democratic Action Party candidate.
According to his calculation, yes. It would have given Perikatan Nasional the winning margin in Seremban.
Okay, hang on. Mathematically, maybe, but politically, that seems like a huge leap of faith.
It absolutely is.
You're talking about MCA voters, traditionally more moderate, business-focused, maybe secular, suddenly voting for a coalition where the Islamic Party is a major component.
That's the massive assumption, isn't it? Lau's calculation pretty much ignores that ideological friction. It assumes these voters would just follow if MCA leadership decided to join Perikatan Nasional.
That's a big if.
A very big if. Historically, that kind of voter migration between such different bases is incredibly difficult to achieve.
So Lau must be betting that unhappiness with the current unity government is, so strong that voters will overlook those ideological differences just to get a change. Pragmatism over principles.
That seems to be the gamble, yes.
Yeah.
He did explicitly say he doesn't know what MCA will do. He laid out the math almost like an invitation. Look, if you join us, here's a major urban seat we can potentially take together. It's electoral bait, really, designed to pressure MCA.
Right. And this external strategy, trying to lure MCA, it connects directly to what he was telling his own party, Perikatan, doesn't it? You can't really play kingmaker if your own house isn't in order.
Exactly. The internal message was just as critical and maybe even more forceful.
He demanded total unity, didn't he? No messing around.
He really did. Lau seems to understand completely that any sign of weakness or internal fighting within Perikatan would just kill any chance of serious alliance talks. So he called for maximum effort and, crucially, zero fragmentation.
And he had that quote, that mantra.
Yes, very direct. We cannot have Team A, Team B, Team C. We only have one team, which is the Perikatan team. It hammers home the need for absolute unity. He warned them, quite plainly, that if they're divided, nobody will take them seriously as a potential governing partner. Forget forming a government.
So it's a clear message. Party first. Put aside your personal ambitions, your old fights, whatever. The party's goal comes before everything.
That's the core of it. Personal agendas, grievances, selfishness, all secondary. For Lau, this kind of iron grip internally is the foundation needed to even attempt these big external plays, like wooing the Malaysian-Chinese Association. Without that unity, they look weak, unreliable.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. He didn't just talk strategy. He also went on the attack against the current administration, the unity government. What were his main criticisms?
Well, he hit them hard on perception versus reality. First, he accused them of constantly painting a rosy picture, trying to make things sound better than they actually are, economically, politically.
Like the public isn't feeling it.
Exactly. And second, he accused them of issuing empty checks, making promises they don't keep.
Empty checks? Like what specifically? Is he talking about cost of living, projects?
It implies a failure to deliver on tangible things. It could be promises about managing, say, the rising cost of living, which obviously hits people hard.
Right.
Or maybe specific infrastructure projects, or perhaps even institutional reforms that people expected but haven't materialized. The point is, lots of talk, not enough action on the ground.
And he made that point about hope, didn't he? Saying it's more painful for people to keep hoping and being let down than just giving up completely. That's quite a psychological angle.
It is, and it's potentially quite effective. He's suggesting the public isn't totally cynical yet. People want to believe things will get better. They hope the government will deliver. But in his narrative, the government keeps disappointing them. And that cycle, hope raised, then dashed, is, according to Lau, more damaging than just accepting a bad situation. It kind of implies the government is stringing people along.
So if Jiracon wants to tap into that frustration, hoping for alliances like with MCA, where else are they actively looking to grow?
The big focus right now seems to be Sabah. Lau was quite explicit about this.
What's the situation in Sabah, according to him?
He believes the current state government there is in crisis, facing widespread public dissatisfaction and, in his view, likely to fall. He actually said he expects it to fall.
Strong words. Is there any proof Jiracon is actually making inroads there? Or is it just talk?
He did offer some concrete evidence. He stated that 39 branches of the Sabah United Party, PBS, have actually left that party and joined Jiracon.
39 branches. That's quite significant, isn't it?
It is. It's a tangible sign of organizational growth and shifting loyalties.
And why does that matter strategically beyond just the numbers? Does it tie into their image?
Yes, very much so. It helps Jiracon push back against the perception that they might just be, a party focused only on peninsular Malaysia or specific communities. Lau used this to highlight Jiracon's multiracial credentials. He stressed that Jiracon includes not just the main ethnic groups, but also Kadazing communities, other indigenous groups, even Siamese people. He's using the Sabah expansion to prove their pluralistic vision is real and gaining traction. It positions them as a potentially broader national alternative.
Okay, so let's pull this together. The strategy seems clear. A calculated gamble on winning Seremban by bringing MCA into the Perikatan Nasional fold.
That's the headline part.
Then, internally, absolute discipline. No dissent allowed within Jiracon.
The Jiracon team mantra.
And externally, capitalize on any perceived weakness or failure of the unity government while actively expanding in places like Sabah to build that multiracial base.
That sums up the blueprint Lau seems to be working from, but, for you listening, the big question hangs there, doesn't it?
Which is?
Lau's whole Seremban calculation, this key piece of his strategy, rests entirely on the Malaysian-Chinese Association making a specific move. What if they don't? What if MCA decides, no, we're staying put or going a different way?
Does the whole plan just fall apart then?
Well, that's the critical uncertainty, isn't it? How adaptable is this strategy if that key piece, the MCA vote transfer, just doesn't happen? What's plan B?
Something to think about.
So we've really unpacked Datuk Dominic Lau's apparent strategy for the upcoming election cycle. It's about calculated expansion, potentially through alliances like the one hoped for with the Malaysian-Chinese Association to win seats like Seremban. This is combined with a very strict demand for internal unity within Jiracon, and it's all framed against capitalizing on what they see as public unhappiness with the current unity government.
Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this.